And so we are talking about a video that Brother Bochi posted on his channel on the Hosheletsani podcast concerning a couple of guys who showed up claiming to be police people. Now, these people claimed that this was concerning the Pastor Mukhuba situation. If you don't know what that's all about, Pastor Mukhuba sued the Chris Network. She won that case. Hosheletsani with Tate Popedi made a comment concerning that video. They got papers as well. And so Pastor Mukhuba was running lawsuit left and right. Hands were full with lawsuits. And so she lost that particular case. And now I don't know if she's appealing it because Bochi says that he was supposed to go. They wanted him to go and make a statement. I didn't understand that. I'm not a legal advisor here, but I don't know. Something just sounded wrong with that. If you're a legal person, please do stay down in the comment section. When the case gets to the court, what statement, if it is at the court's thingy, and if you've already, maybe if they're in the appeals stage, what statement would you be going to the police station to get? I was just not clear about that. So they were saying that he must go to thing, and I'm like, wait a minute, that should happen with a judge. Like, I didn't get it. It didn't sound right. It sounded weird and stuff. Like, I think he mentioned something about fingerprints, and I was like, what? The whole thing just sounded weird. But anyways, and so these guys claim to be from Pastor Mukhuba and what else. The video just sent me thinking of a video that was made the previous day. So there was a video that came out saying Bochi was arrested. Now, he was not arrested. He was detained. Now, was he detained? It sounds weird. So we'll leave it at that. So there was a video that came out and said that. So that was very weird as well. These guys who came to Bochi, they claim to be from Pastor Mukhuba's thingy or doing it under the Pastor Mukhuba thing, right? And then now all of a sudden, there's a video. Like, who's that person? Who posted that video? Who's that? Like, how did they know that? Hours from the time when it was just happening. Like, so that also was a very weird one. And so there was that video that came out and said that Bochi was arrested, whatnot. Very weird thing. And they attached Pastor Mukhuba's video on it. So that's the whole thing. So I thought, I don't think they understand the image that this looks like. Like, if you're a pastor, there's a certain posture a pastor has. The Bible says, you must be capable. If you're going to be a pastor or a teacher, you should be capable to dismiss the gainsayers. Meaning, your capability to teach on a matter extends to a point where it can dismiss people that misuse the faith. Right? And it structures the believers. It doesn't say you have people that are out there. That's a particular thing. We've heard some, like it's a very weird whole thing, to be honest with you. Like, there is a limit that the Bible sets for us. Adam and Eve had a limit as well. We Christians have a limit as well. It's like the top of this camera frame. And if we go above that, we'll find trouble above that. And if we don't keep ourselves below that limit, we'll find something, above that, there's something you don't want. And I thought this thing, they might not realize. At the end of the day, you're doing all these things, the whole thing with the Chris Network, and then you have this one. It's Pastor, we didn't know her like a lot. like we didn't know her that much because we differ in doctrines, right? So there are certain things I don't follow. There are certain things I just don't follow, like at all. I'm not interested. I'm more of a teaching guy that I follow. I'm more of a feeling of a teaching guy. I don't follow a lot of things in take. So when you're a person who's that hidden, and the first time you come out, we are hearing that, you might not realize how that's going to taint you. Not because what someone said, not because what someone did, but because of what you are being said to be doing. So like this whole thing now, like this whole thing of statements, like I said, allegedly, that's what Brother Bochi said. He said he was arrested and these people claimed to be doing this under the Pastor Mukhuba thing. So the first time you come up, like, bear in mind, we don't know you, right? Because there's things at your church that we might not agree with, right? There are churches that don't have female pastors, so they just naturally not going to watch that or think. We differ, right? We're all different. Now, I wouldn't say you're not Christian. I'll just say that maybe they're a Christian, but not the kind of Christians I associate with. Let's keep that away from. Right? That's how you might hear a person like myself. There's just this wing of Christianity that I just don't associate. But then when that audience that I generally do not associate with already, from their doctrinal beliefs already, when these kind of things like this lawsuit, and you watch the video of Chris apologizing, and then you're looking at that video and you sense, why is it like I'm supposed to feel scared of talking about Pastor Mukhuba because of seeing this video? Why is it like when I look at this video, I get the sense that you want me to be afraid? Right? So I looked at that video, I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, what's been communicated through this video? And I'm like, there's a level of apology I would never allow a person to do. There's a level of humbling yourself that I would not allow another person to do, because it takes away the dignity of the person. There's a level. Now, as a mzalwane, there's a level where I say, hey, brother, stop it. Before, okay. Then in that same video, you have Chris try to reach his hand out, to say, hi, utolo. And Pastor Mukhuba just stood there. And I'm like, okay. He's reaching. And then the bodyguard comes in, And then the whole thing just. So I'm like, okay, wait. Why do I have this picture when I see you? The first time we see you. Why do I have the picture as if we're supposed to be scared? Wait a minute. Am I talking about pastor? Am I talking about pastor, or am I talking about Al Chapo here? What are we talking about? Why do I see that video and I get a completely... You might intend that, because that was the whole thing, Yes, people talk what, and it's, yeah, we don't agree with you. Get used to it. Jesus Christ. Is that new to you, that people don't agree with you? You're a Christian. You should be used to the thing. Y'all claim all these years in ministry and you are not used to having people not agree with you. Now, you might say, they said these things, okay. But then, apart from what they said, why is it that when I see videos like that, I get the feeling you want us to be scared of you? I don't understand. I'm getting confusion vibes. Why You see now, when we are talking about you, we must be hesitating. We must be cutting our words. We must whisper. Am I talking about a pastor? We can speak with loud voices about Cyril Ramaphosa. But when I'm talking about Pastor Mukhuba, when I'm talking about a person who says they are a pastor, I must whisper. You know? Otherwise, she will suasions of you. He will say bye-bye to monies you don't have. Am I talking about a pastor? Question. You see, when we saw the Chris video, we already had those ideas. But then, when we hear the stories of Mama Jojo, we then ask. We got to ask you, like, wait, what are you... Maybe we should ask, right? Let's not wait. Let's not guess. Can you tell us? What do you want? You want to be the king of all of us? You want to be the pastor of all of us? You want to be the law of all of us? You want to tell us what is right, what is wrong, what we can question, what we can't question, what is what? What do you want? Because we must talk now with restrictions. We must hide. Say it under the table. But I'm talking about a pastor. Excuse me, please. Something's not making sense here. We must hide. We must create fake accounts now. But yet, I'm talking about a pastor. And when I talk about this pastor, I must talk under the table. Question. Am I talking about a pastor or am I talking about El Chapo? It's better if you tell us we're running El Chapo right here. It's better that way because then I know, okay, you know what? El Chapo don't mess around. If you don't know El Chapo. Like if I'm clear, we're talking about MS-13 here. If we're talking about MS-13, okay. Or skuluma ngenombolo. The 20s. We're talking about the Americans from Cape Town. There are certain things we must limit our voice. You know, we must speak down here. Don't raise your voice. Speak down. So now, you see, if we become clear, who are we talking about? Then it makes it easy. Makes it easy so that we know, oh, okay, maybe we are not talking about a pastor. It clears the board. But now, when we have restrictions, you can sit here and say, oh, she's here about Cyril Ramaphosa, president of the country, or Trump, the president of the continent, with these tariffs. But when you speak about Pastor Mukhuba, you must practice, must restrict your words. Otherwise, speak with an unknown account. Question. It's a legit question. Am I talking about a pastor or am I talking about something else? Or who am I talking about? Or what are we trying to achieve? Like if we are clear about what we are trying to achieve, then maybe. Like if we are trying to, if maybe Pastor Mukhuba is trying to be the pastor of South Africa, like their pastor, like their pastor. Okay, like maybe she should tell us. So as a sign of their pastors in South Africa, then maybe we'll know. Because those are the levels where we define. Okay, no, I'm not talking about a church here. Okay, I'm talking about, you know, it becomes clear. So what are these restrictions that you guys are trying to achieve? Yeah. Maybe if you tell us, will know so that we can categorize you guys properly. What is unity trying to achieve out of this whole thing? Yeah, the Mabocho situation is one thing. The lawsuits thing is one thing. But then when you watch that apology video, you sit down and you wonder, like, why do I get the feeling I'm supposed to be scared? Why when I watch this video, it doesn't feel like I'm watching. I haven't seen that anywhere else. The last time, I want to just show you this. The last time I ever saw someone do that was Apostle Johnson Suleiman. When Johnson Suleiman dragged a woman who had exposed him, and he dragged her from the US, brought her to his church, he dragged her mother. And I was like, okay, we are not talking about a pastor here. With that situation, like, this does not scream pastor. You know? And he went out and he said, you know, if you arrest me, you know, the whole country will be destroyed in like 3 days. Like, he threatened the country. Yeah, that's Johnson Suleiman. The last time I saw like an apology like that was when that happened. And so maybe if we cleared, what are we talking about? What maybe are you trying to achieve out of this whole thing? You know, maybe you have people that bow themselves when you pass, or they lay flat on the ground. But maybe you have all these things, but you have to understand, we are not part of your church. We choose what church we go to. And the church that I'm part of has apostles questioning one thing versus the other and the other and the other. You can't be talking about the same Bible and say there's no criticism. You're not talking about the church. Oh, you haven't read it. You haven't read the book. If you have read the book, it was Jesus' criticism of the Judaic system that got him killed. So it gives weird vibes once we are in a period where you can't ask questions. You can't say, I don't agree with this. So maybe tell us what you want. Do you want to be a pastor all over all of us? What is it? What are you trying to achieve with this whole thing? With the people in Zimbabwe, like those guys that you see there, they're clear. They want to be their pastor over everyone. We've just denied them because they're fake. So maybe you should tell us, like, what are you trying to achieve? Like, what do you want? So we can tell you we're not giving it. But whatever, I don't think they calculated this very well. I don't think they are aware of what this is going to spell for them. You know, like this constant thing, like lawsuiting and what and up and down, fighting Christians. Like this whole thing, I don't think y'all calculated this one very well. And you see, right now, you have the church speaking about it. You have Christian YouTubers speaking about it. Before you know it, if it goes, you're going to have the world speaking about it. And if it crosses to the world speaking about it, then you will want to be saying it's persecution when you forgot where this whole thing started. The Bible says, come, let us reason together. That was God saying that. We can't reason with. So that's why I'm like, this is strange, it's weird. What do you want from us? So that we can quickly tell you, not giving. It's very weird. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand this whole thing. Pastor Mukhuba. It's very weird. Like all these lawsuits and then this and then that and then that. And now police, there's what? It's like, what's going on over there? Like, what's up? What do you want? If we clear that, maybe then we'll have clarity. Sexuality show with daily Christian. Am I the only one who's thinking that? Because sometimes You're asking for what's not there. You're asking for what's not there. You're asking from the church what the church cannot give. You see, you might get it at your church, but when you get out of your church, excuse me, please, we are not your church. So, what do you want? To clarify that one, it makes it easy.